Look at me. You're going to get away with this.
Shoot it in your living room over a series of weeks, and that's the way you make your first film. You know, just keep it small, keep it simple. There you go. We, however, decided to move 20 people across the world to one location that we'd never been to before, in the middle of one of the biggest football tournaments in the world, with loads of security issues, and expected to just get away with it.
We were all mentally ill due to the strains and stresses of making this film. Had there been better accommodation, had there been some travel arrangements made, parking, had there been some food supplied, had we have had a crew who knew how to make a film, none of us would have exposed our genitals or wore wrestling masks or played with puppets.
Come on, come on! So we had to go into battle in the middle of the European Championship, the unknown, surrounded by, you know, supporters from all over Europe, passionate supporters, and we're filming in the middle of that, you know, and we ain't got a clue, we ain't got a clue how it's going to play. We don't think it's going to be tricky, where we can shoot, how we can shoot, where we can shoot from. And I mean, I just remember thinking, you know, I'm just so curious how they're going to deal with this, to be honest with you.
This is our honeymoon. Do you really think I would take your dad's money to come and see the football?
The actors that we have, Dyer and George Khalil, the two male actors, are both, I have a feeling, complete lunatics. I don't honestly think anyone's sane. It's class. It's so funny. And so there's just this collection of madmen going out to Portugal, and I think maybe that's the only way that we can actually pull it off, is because, you know, it's pure madness. Tomorrow we're going to fly off to London and split up, and then go straight to Portugal and start checking out the locations.
Are you still waiting on money though, or you've gotten it?
No, we got the money.
You got the money?
Yeah, we got the money. All that disaster, that file is finished, and then
when?
Last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
Any loose ends still though?
No, this whole thing is one big loose end.
We arrive in Portugal. I don't know what, you know, how it's going to play. I don't know what's coming next. We get there, you know, and it's basically very, you know, there's no call sheets. There's nothing like that. We just get up and I go, okay, what's happening today? Right, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this location. We're going to try and nick some stuff. So it's like, okay, right, no call sheet. So, right, no structure, nothing really to sort of, right, okay, fair enough. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I think a major problem for us was the England fans, what we thought anyway, because we didn't know how it's going to play, and the fact that England fans, obviously, we've got a reputation, and before any major tournament, there's a big thing in the press about England. If they play up, they're going to be thrown out of the tournament. So we're going out and we're filming in the middle of that, so we don't know whether it's going to kick off. We don't know, you know, we've got no permits to go anywhere. So we just want to catch stuff, but we want to catch stuff that's real, and we want to catch it so that it's raw. You know, it's like, who knows what's going to happen? Are we just going to get battered and all our stuff taken off us? What? You know, what's going to happen here? How's it going to play? You know what I mean? I can't stand up and kick off for everyone. You know what I mean? It's not like we've got security with us. We've got no permit anyway. We shouldn't even be filming there. We haven't got a leg to stand on. So if it would have kicked off, you know, we'd have been right in the heart of it, and we would have had to deal with it. If you think about it, we're going into Rossio Square. That is where the England fans, right, which is where all the hooligans are going to meet as well. And we're going into the middle of that circle, right, and we're walking in with a fucking steady cam, right, with hardly any crew, nothing like that, me and Gillian, and we're going to shoot, not a documentary, yeah, that's not what we're doing, we're shooting a film with dialogue, yeah, and And you know, a proper movie we're going to shoot in the middle of this, and that for me was terrifying. I remember. I think that's amazing that we pulled that off. Really, looking back on it. So you know, that's the first game, big, massive game against the mighty, the French, the world champions, the governors, the European champions. And I remember that you know Richard, the director, had to go up to a block of flats overlooking the stadium. You know, I don't know how they got in there. It was all guerrilla filming. They must have sneaked in. And they was up on a balcony and they were shooting down on me walking into the ground and stuff like that. But I know that as soon as I'm in the ground and I give me a ticket in, we can't go again. So once I'm in, I'm in. And what a game, what a game. It was amazing. And I remember the corner I was sitting in was the corner after Frank Lampard scored. He ran to that corner. And I was sitting right at the front of the corner flag, and he came over and he cheered to us, and I was like, "Ah, this is great! What a job this is!" And then soppy bollocks, David James, just absolutely threw the game away for us. And I was at that end. That was the end I was in. We scored in the first half, and Lampard ran to that corner. And in the second half, obviously, those were they scored their 2 goals, and it was absolutely devastating, I must say, down to that mug, David James, you know. He nosed it for us, and how arrogant was we to think that England are going to fucking win this tournament, and we're going to be shooting a whole lot. We're going to be there for the whole ride. We're going to catch it all on film, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be a big romantic ending with me and my wife in the middle of the England fans. You know, after beating Portugal, that was it. That was ideal, what we'd like. But you know, what a load of bollocks that turned out to be.
Well, Alan, this will be a fascinating contest. 2 very strong sides. Remarkable, really, that this is the first time these teams have come face-to-face in Europe.
Yes, John, I mean, this is their first match-up, and you can tell that both sides are really fired up for it.
There's a lot of driving in this film, a lot of travelling, and there was shooting in cars that have been hired. And so, obviously, you know, we haven't got no money, so anything happens to these cars, you know, we're fucked.
We turned up and it was 1,000,000 degrees, and I was driving a van on the wrong side of the road in a foreign country, on the wrong side of the van, with a camera on the front, with a camera car swerving around trying to film us without any permission at all.
Oh, just please, please, please! I'm driving!
Here's the cops.
Okay, let's go close windows. Roll sound. Let yourselves down, boys. Let's do that again.
And I actually remember at that point just thinking, this whole project is seriously dangerous.
Right.
So
well, there are all the cars trying to stop, and everyone's trying to kill us. And
off we go. It's fucking mad!
It was so unsafe, and people's lives were actually at risk.
Yes. Well, you know, I'm a bit worried. You know, it's our first day. It's our first day. You know, I don't really fancy rolling the motor. Okay.
Do you want to get out?
I just remember she was driving along, and she's just like, oh god, so just missing cars by that much and stuff like that. It's like, oh god, I've got to concentrate on my dialogue, and I've got to concentrate. It's a stressful scene. This I've got. You know, she's just driving. She's got to say her dialogue. And I just remember her holding me gaze for too long. She's sort of saying her lines, and she's driving. There's no money for low loaders. Let me just tell you that now. So she's driving. They've hired another car. They're shooting it from this other car's window. They're just missing traffic as well. It's like fucking hell, man. Jesus Christ. Obviously, I knew it was going to happen. She drove it into a ditch and dented all the front of the bonnet, and so we had to obviously shoot the car from different angles and stuff like that, but I knew it was going to happen. And obviously everyone's panicking about the car. You know, fucking, but actually, you're 2 actors in that fucking car, shitting their pants. Well, I was shitting my pants, I don't know about Julian.
Sorry. Sorry.
away. There we go.
We never would have got this film made if we had done it anywhere else besides being in Portugal with people who were learning on the go. We never would have got it done because actually those are the only kind of people who would put up with the kind of shit we put them through.
So far, so good, Mark, my lad. So far, so good. 1 match down, 2 to go.
The next game was Switzerland, and we had to leave Lisbon and go to Coimbra, which was a mission, I must say. I remember it was, no one knew where they was going. You know, we was all in separate cars. You know, it was like, you know, we was having trouble getting across the toll gates and stuff like that. And you know, it was just, it was like, oh, okay, here we go. And also I'm depressed because we just lost to France. So we lose this game, we're out of the tournament. There's everything riding on this game because it's not only are we out of the tournament, it's end of film. I mean, there's nowhere we can go with the film, really. But I was so focused and just so watching the screen of England thinking, you know, I'm going to be absolutely devastated. If we lose this game, fuck the film, right? I'm going to end up opening myself up. This is really heavy. This is what, you know, and obviously Richard and Tiffany, they're worried about the film, you know, that's what's on their nut, you know, obviously that's why we're here, you know, and, you know, every second of the day costs money, obviously. So that for me, I couldn't give a fuck about it at that stage. I really, you know, it would sound really bad, but, you know, at that stage, all I worried about was fucking England, and for fuck's sake, win this fucking match, please. And oh, did we win? Oh, it was a beautiful thing, and the kid Rooney come to life. That's when he really came to life, man. I think that was the moment when I fell in love with him. I think that's when I know now that I will love him for the rest of my life, whatever happens, you know what I mean? So, we won, we smashed them 3-0. It was a beautiful thing, man.
How about catering?
Oh, mate, catering? Is non-existent. What catering?
It's quite an important thing, catering, obviously, for everyone involved, because you need to eat, gives you energy, you need to crack on. But if you don't know whether you're going to have lunch that day or not, that's obviously going to cause, you know, a little bit of stress among the camp.
The food graph for this film was it's sort of a curve that goes like this, and then on the last day it's come right back up. That's mainly because Vinnie Jones is here, and if you try to serve him a dry Alpenbar, which is the equivalent of bird food and human spittle, and finish it off with warm water, he would have spat it back in your face and punched you. For 40 days and 40 nights, that is what we were fed in Mafra, Portugal. And the great thing was that every time we moaned about it, they thought that they just changed the variety of Alpenbar they fed us. So for the first 2 weeks we had strawberry, and then we had yoghurt, and then blackberry and apple.
Well, Alan, he's all over the place.
I've seen a beautiful game of football, and I have. So by now we've, you know, we've been up and down the country, we've been all over the gaff. England have had a win, so we're still in the tournament. That's all good. And obviously, the stuff that is important and the stuff which is just so like unpredictable is the football. You know, it's like. And so the next game, which is, you know, everything's riding on it, is the Croatia game, which we have to win. And if we don't win, then we're out of the tournament. And not only are we out of the tournament, it's end of film, really, because there's nowhere we can go with it. And I remember that, again, Richard was working his bollocks off, of course, and he's stressed out. But he had a ticket for the Croatia game, he had one ticket. And bless his heart, he gave it to me. But I was sort of, you know, stressed out and, you know, just didn't know, you know, where we were going, and you know, what happens if we do lose this game? What happens? What, do we all go home? What? So I was almost on that vibe. So maybe it was a little way of Richard keeping me sweet, you know, which was a fucking good idea because it kept me sweet. I'll tell you that now. Because again, what a fucking amazing match, you know, against Croatia, who again are a fucking good side, man. It's not a bye, Croatia, and it was the best I think I've ever seen England play. We was absolutely, and of course again the kid Rooney, the kid Rooney. Just amazing, man, amazing. And so we won. We're through to the qualifying stages. The film can carry on. And so here we go. It's the quarter, you know, it's the quarters. Yeah, we've made it. Who have we got? Portugal. Of all the teams, we get Portugal. So we're in Portugal, we're in their manor, yeah. We're shooting, you know, a lot of the crew and the people that were associated with this job were Portuguese. And most of my stuff, what I shoot, I've got an England top on. And all of a sudden, I just started to get this really odd vibe off the Portuguese while I was walking along and we were shooting. Because we're hated so much, you know, and it was like, and it really upped the stakes for me as well, because I really thought, I fucking really want to beat these Portuguese. You know, not only do I want to beat them, obviously, because, you know, I want to go further in the tournament, but also it'd be great for the film, man. It would be great, you know, just for us to nick this, man. It would be a beautiful thing. And actually, by this stage, I'd shot quite a lot of the film, and script-wise, it didn't really matter if we went out at this stage so much. It wasn't, you know, it would have been a bonus if we didn't, obviously, but it, you know, it sort of worked with the script if we did go out at this stage, because it was sort of our coming together, me and Gillian. So, but even fuck all that, you know what I mean? Bollocks, I wanted England to win, you know. It was a major fucking game for us, you know. And I think if we'd have beat them, we could have well gone on to win that tournament, because look who won it in the end, man. Look who fucking won that. It was Greece. I mean, come on, man. So, you know, obviously we all know what happens. David James again, I'll put it down to. We got a goal disallowed, Sol Campbell. And I tell you, I remember that the game finished, we lost on penalties. It was horrible, man. It was terrible. It was a really bad fucking moment. And the Portuguese were so happy. They were so happy. They're nice people, the Portuguese, but that night I fucking despised them, I remember. It was heavy, man.
You sure you know what you're doing?
I can't explain it. We lost. I've never been happier.
I remember we behaved ourselves, and on the last night we got everything in the bag. Don't get me wrong, we shot the fuck out of it, but we got everything in the bag, and Richard was happy. And then Richard, because Richard behaved his fucking self, I got to say, he was a good boy. And then on the last night we got absolutely fucking smashed, I remember. And we all sort of spoke about what we'd achieved, and we was all so happy and excited about it. And you know, it's a good way. I think we all left Portugal on a high, man. Definitely, we was all really excited and just happy, and just thinking, right, we've done it. We fucking did it. We went out there with no money, man. We went to fucking Portugal with no money, no crew, and we just fucking got our fucking hands dirty, and we did it, man. We nicked it, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a rare fucking thing. It doesn't happen often.